Hello guys and welcome to the video. So today is episode 2 of Beginner's Adventure for Summoner's War. What we're doing is we're creating a new account and we're taking it through the game essentially. I'm going to try to complete everything. This will be an example account. I will record every single day on this account, regardless if it's a big or small update, and just try stuff, right? And the reason we're doing this is because the Summoner's War Reloaded update changed a lot of things in the game. You'll see a video that I'm putting out before this. Hopefully I will put out before this, but it's like there's some things that change in Summoner's Way. The difficulty of getting through the game is really easy. If you think about it, like evolution is much easier. The places the farm, like the path you should be taking has changed a slight bit. It's just the teams you're going to be starting out with have changed. It's just so many things have changed. So we're testing it, I'm coming at it with a whole new team. Usually I would be like, hey, I'm starting off with a Sath team. I'm starting off with a Sigmar's team or whatever. We're starting off with an entirely different team. So let's kind of recap on episode 1. On episode 1, we had only gotten to like Mount White Ragon. And in Mount White Ragon, or after, we didn't really achieve anything on that episode 1, but we did summon a lot. We got a lot of crap monsters. Since then, since after the video, I just, pretty much gone into, Summoner's Way and followed alongside Summoner's Way. So I did all of this while completing scenario alongside of it. Got tons of scrolls, tons of Angelmon, tons of crystals, tons of everything. And did all this summoning. Still got a ton of crap. But after that, I entered Dimensional Rift, and then the world boss was on cooldown. I mean, obviously I completed it now, but like it was on cooldown, so from there I had to stop. And essentially what I decided to do was I was going to start on my Giants team. Let's start evolving and leveling up my Giants team, so when the next episode comes, which is this, I already have a good idea of what I'm going to be doing and all that stuff, that's kind of the thing you should be doing. If you're a new player, Summoner's Way is the perfect thing to kind of help you get your bearings while you start to figure things out. I mean, it leads you through scenario, it gives you tons of rewards, and it kind of assists you. I mean, like, think about like this, like the fusion hexagram mission. Buy the fusion hexagram at the shop, and it says, she gives you a little thing at the bottom. Good news, the Magic Council approved you to install a fusion hexagram. You can now fuse monsters to summon more powerful monsters, which essentially, they're low key, like subconsciously training you in a way, like to understand the game. So craft unknown magic box from the craft building. Craft building is finally ready to roll. Why don't you use essences you built to craft unknown magic boxes? Do this, do that. It's essentially they're soft core training you, right? They're challenging you. So from here I decided, or from there I decided to work on my Giants team and work on my fusions. One thing I have noted is that the fusion, getting it done was so incredibly easy. I mean, evolution is such an amazing thing in this game right now, even if the cost is insane. I mean, you'll see. It's like I have some, dang, I didn't expect to have this many Angelmon, but it is so easy. I mean, what used to be like a 2 to 3 hour like adventure with fusions is now like an hour, if not less, because when you level up a monster, even if you evolve it, it stays the same level. So it's like, maybe we could show this off real quick. Enhancing monster. Nah, we won't be able to. I don't think I have enough monsters in here. Yeah, no, see, we don't. But they'll stay the same level even after you evolve them, which help tons, especially when it comes to fusion. But as I was working on my fusions, I was also working on my team. So let's talk about the team I'm using. Pretty much what you see on screen. The only monster that's missing that I would love to have is Naomi. I want Naomi. Reasons that we can get to either in a different video or this one. We'll see. But let's start off with Veramos, and then we'll work our way throughout the team. So the number 1 unit is Veramos. He's the fusion. Some people might be like, hey, do I fuse Sigmar's or do I fuse Veramos? I suggest Veramos. While he might not have as high as a damage output, he is much better. The dots on his first skill don't necessarily matter to me, especially not anymore after the update. But skill 2 is an AoE. It does damage based off of enemy's max HP, which is really good for the boss. Stuns the target. So he can stun the wave leading up to the boss. And if the target is not stunnable, if they're immune to stun, so if the target is not stunned after attacking, decreasing the attack bar of the target by 50% with a 100% chance. So if he doesn't stun the target, he does reduce their attack bar by half, which is a lot. That's going to be really big for the boss, especially when you get to the Abyss floor. Attack bar reduction is going to be a pretty good thing. Not to mention his passive is really good. He cleanses all harmful effects except inability effects. And inability effects are essentially stuns, freezes, whatever, sleeps. So he cannot cleanse those, but his passive helps with that. So he cleanses all harmful effects except inability effects on all allies each turn, and all allies will recover their HP by 5% for each harmful effect removed. In addition, your attack bar increases by 15% for each harmful effect remaining on the ally. So he has cleansing, he has healing, he has attack bar pushing, he has attack bar manipulation, he has stunning, he has big damage. It's just he keeps on coming out with more stuff. So not only is he a damage dealer, but he's a support. And he has a good leader skill, HP plus 33%. Versus Sigmar. Sigmar is just compare, like, it's like comparing like copper to gold, right? I mean, or copper to diamond, right? It's just, where the fuck is Sigmar? Sigmar is like, he has a dungeon lead, HP plus 44%, but it's like, he has a stun, which the stun means nothing. Enemies max HP and freezes. So, skill 2, enemies max HP, which is more damage, but whatever. And a little bit of CC, but this freeze doesn't affect the boss, it only affects the waves. And then third skill is an AoE based off of max HP, and he has an attack break and a freeze, but the freeze doesn't help. So we're losing cleanse, we're losing healing, we're losing attack bar pushing, we're losing so much stuff when we're switching to him. All we really gain is a little bit more damage and a little bit more HP from the leader skill. So I would recommend Veramos, but if you choose Sigmaris, all power to you, right? The next unit is Shannon. Shannon, for very obvious reasons, her 2A is pretty great, especially for the new Abyss floor, that's kind of what I'm aiming for my team. I want my team to be able to go from Giant Speed 10 to Abyss floor without changing any units, or as many units, if not any units at all. You know what I mean? Her skill 1 has a chance to glance the enemy and absorbs the attack bar, which is going to be, again, good for the Giant, because the Giant's going to potentially move less. Skill 2 is an AoE, which decreases attack speed and absorbs attack bar by 10%. So not only is this good for the boss, for slowing the boss and absorbing attack bar, but this is good for the waves leading up to the boss. So you could build Shannon on Despair, and you would be able to slow the enemies, absorb their attack bar, and potentially stun them at the same time, which is really cool. But on top of that, it's her third skill called Pep Talk. Increases the attack power and defense of all allies for 3 turns, which is going to make these runs a whole lot more safe. So, for the third time in history, Shannon comes back and is one of the best units in the game for beginners, at the very least. My next unit I wanted was Naomi or Crow. I'd prefer Naomi because Naomi's just a bit safer. She has built-in crit rate, and she has crit damage or increased damage per harmful effect on her passive. So both of her skills are doing big damage. She has a stun on her skill 1, which I don't really care about, but she does have a skill 2 brand with attack bar decreasing. So again, it helps for the Giants boss. If I get her, I will build her, but I don't have her at the moment because I'm getting unlucky with her. Crow, he's just generally good. I think you already know about Crow, so Crow's there for damage as well, but interchangeable, right? But last but not least is Royd. Now, I'll be honest, this team is pretty much being inspired by Sean B. So I will put the video up on screen somewhere of him talking about this in case you need a team for the Abyss floors. He has already made videos on all the Abyss floors, so I will put that on screen somewhere. But essentially, Royd, there's a lot to explain. So when you enter the Abyss floors, understand the rules are there's no duplicates. So you can't bring the Sath team or Tricard team. So you're really left with one particular team to build, and it's like a nuker team, where you bring, a unit that can essentially do big damage, like Crow or Naomi, and alongside other units that are going to help keep them alive and debuff the enemy. Most of the time, beforehand, that would be Lauren. Lauren would reduce the attack bar of the enemy with her multi-hits, do tons of defense breaking and slows and, heal blocking and all that stuff, which would be good for a regular Giants floor because the boss will counterattack every 7 hits, and he would just attack the last person who would attack them. And more often than not, that would either be Thrawn or Lauren. But now, with the new Abyss floor, the boss counterattacks everybody. So every 7 hits he receives, he just attacks everybody, which this is a big problem for nuker units. So Lauren is just causing him to counterattack way more often, which is not what we want. So we need someone who defense breaks but is not crapping out tons of hits like her. And Royd is that unit, right? So he has a defense break on skill 1. It's a single hit. And the good thing about him is he's consistent with his defense breaks because that's his only active skill. So he will only ever use this skill. He does have passives which do proc depending on whether the enemy has defense or not. So his passive number 1 attacks the target additionally 2 times to decrease the attack power for 2 turns with a 70% chance each if you attack an enemy with decreased defense on your turn. The damage does increase according to his max HP. And his passive is that he attacks the target additionally to decrease attack bar to 0 and grants an irresistible provoke, which the provokes won't work on the boss. But for 1 turn, if you attack an enemy with no decreased defense on your turn, the damage increases according to your max HP. So this is obviously really good because we're gonna have defense breaks quite often. So if you think about it, Vero, Royd, Shannon, Naomi, and then Lulu, or another attacking unit depending on how reliable your team is, that team should work a lot of the time. I mean, they're all pretty much win units, so they could take a hit, and you're dishing out a good amount of damage. So again, thank you, Sean B, for the team. And not that he built it for me, he built it for everybody, obviously, but still thanking him. Now again, I'm having Lulu there as a 6th potential optional unit in case for safety. And I think Lulu, in this case, is better than Thrawn for one reason. Thrawn, while she is an amazing unit, is a very dangerous unit when it comes to the Abyss floor as well, believe it or not. Because her first skill, where she attacks enemies 3 times, she's also helping proc the counterattack. And her and Lauren are like the devious duo, right? Where they're both combined getting anywhere from like 6 to 7 turns out, I believe. Or 6 to 7 attacks out. So 2 times, 3 times. Okay, so 6 or 5 to 6 every rotation, not including your other monsters. So that monster, that boss, is counterattacking so often. But with Lulu, you not only get more heals, you get a cleanse with his 3rd skill, and it's just his skill 1 is a single attack that also heals. So it's just like there's less of the counterattacking going on. So I'm building him as a precautionary unit. He's just on the basic Violent Will set. Obviously, I would like to have him on a Swift Energy or a completely Triple Energy build. Crow can say the same. Shannon, I want her on Despair Energy or Despair Shield. Shield would probably be preferred. Or Despair Determination or Despair Fight. Whichever one works. Or Despair Accuracy. I want him on a Despair Blade set. Speed, crit damage, HP. Or speed, crit damage, attack if I feel comfortable enough for him to be on that. But we would have to try the Abyssal floor first. And then Royd, surprisingly, I want him on a double energy blade or triple blade or whatever energy blade combination. HP, crit damage, HP. So he can do some damage and have a good amount of accuracy. I want him to have good accuracy. But I think this is going to be pretty fun. All these units are free to play. They literally give you every single one of these units in the beginning. Like, all of these units, they hand to you. Vermos, they help you with the fusion. They gave you Royd in the beginning of the game. Crow, they're now giving to you in the Summoner's Way that I showed you guys earlier. They're giving him to you here. They give you Lulu in the Dragon's God dang it, in Summoner's Way as well, by completing the Dragon's Lair, the first mission. Just check the strategy info. They give you Shannon here in the beginning, so it's like they literally hand you every single unit, and all these units can be used to complete Giants. So I think this is a pretty good team. Again, Sean B's video will be up on the screen somewhere if it hasn't already been up on the screen. I think his team is really good, and I'm going to try it for myself. But so far, we've completed Giants B8. We're farming for runes here for some reason. I can't remember why. But just farming here for a little bit. We could potentially do Giants B10, but for now we're doing this until we get more scrolls, so we summon a couple more units so we can 6-star our units. But we're going to also be working our way through Trial of Ascension normal, getting all the Rainbow Mon and Devil Mons and all. Was that? Oh, I thought that was 3,000 crystals. I was like, what the heck? But yeah, for the meantime, what I'm going to do, that's pretty much all I've done, right? But you got to think about this. It's like, this is day 2. And 6-star, 6-star, 5-star, 5-star, 4-star. Pretty good. They're all ruined. They could be ruined better, but they're all ruined. It's pretty good, right? But what is the goal? So we've talked about what we've done. What is the goal for the next video? The goal for the next video is, one, I want to see if I can get as far up in Trial of Ascension as possible, as well as clearing more of the Summoner's Way event. I'm going to clear this, try to get past as much of it as possible. This is going to be annoying to do. Yeah, it is. But try to get this Transcendent Scroll and hopefully get something good. But completing more Summoner's Way events, completing challenges, most importantly beating this thing right here. But it's more or less trying to do that. Getting 2As done. I need to start getting Crow's 2A done as well. Speaking of, here's another Crow. Cool. But get Crow's 2A done. By tomorrow, I really do hope by tomorrow I have Crow's 2A done, if not almost done. But that's essentially it. That's all I have for the video today. I hope it was somewhat entertaining. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.